तुमसे, होके दिल ये दीवाना कहता है गलती से, होके दिल ये दीवाना एक पल भी जाने जाना, मुझसे दूर नहीं जाना। प्यार किया तो निभाना, 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 प्यार किया तो निभाना। वफाना रासाई तुझे हर जाई, वफाना रासाई तुझे हर जाई। सदियों ये ज़माना याद रखेगा यार तेरी बेवफाई, वफाना रासाई तुझे हर जाई।
याद ना आए मुझे, याद ना आए, इतनी पिला दो कि वो याद ना आए। कैसे भुलाए उसे, कैसे भुलाए, जिसने की वफाएं एक साथ दो जगहें। बात राज की अब सामने आ गई यारा, कहाँ गई सादगी। वो चेहरा बड़ा था प्यारा, गोरे रंग से जो काला जादू चला है। ऐसी बेवफाओं से कोई तो बचाए। याद ना आए मुझे, याद ना आए, इतनी पिला दो कि वो याद ना आए। यार कहीं खो गया, गुमशुदा हो गया, जो कभी मेरा था वो और किसी का हो गया।
बारिशों का वो महीना भूल पाएंगे कभी ना, बारिशों का वो महीना भूल पाएंगे कभी ना। जुल्फ से जब पानी झटका तूने झूम के, हाय ऐसी खूबसूरत भूल बैठे हम शराफत। लौट आई पागल आंखें तुझको चूम के, इश्क था या जहर चढ़ गया था, इश्क था या जहर चढ़ गया था। होश में आज तक ना पाए, मस्त नजरों से अल्लाह बचाए, मस्त नजरों से अल्लाह बचाए, ओ हुस्न वालों से अल्लाह बचाए, मस्त नजरों से अल्लाह बचाए, ओ हुस्न वालों से अल्लाह बचाए।
डूबा दरिया में खड़ा मैं साहिल पर, तू बिजली बनकर गिरी मेरे दिल पर। चली ऐसी ये पागल पवन मैं क्या करूं।
See you wine like Rihanna, get all up on the hum, diggy diggy bum bum. She burn it up like the summer. She turn me on with a bum, diggy diggy bum bum.
You got me like crazy, that you calling.
With a bum, diggy diggy bum bum.
You got me like crazy, that you calling. इश्क का जो फितूर है नशे में दिल तेरे चूरे। अब तो होश ना खबर है ये कैसा असर है, होश ना खबर है ये कैसा असर है। तुमसे मिलने के बाद दिल भर, तुमसे मिलने के बाद दिल भर।
नचदी नु बेद होवे लावा चंगी बाम सोनिए, नच नच तक चंगी बाह विच मेरी अज कर मेरा नाम सोनिए। मेरा विच नचदी नु बेद होवे लावा चंगी बाम सोनिए, नच नच तक चंगी बाह विच मेरी अज कर मेरा नाम सोनिए।
चमका चमका मेरी आ मैं चम चम करके चमका, लावा झंडू बाम च नच दे पैजन थमका। चमका चमका मेरी आ मैं चम चम करके चमका, झंडू बाम च नच दे पैजन थमका। मेरे ही चर्चे मेरिया ही गल्ला जग सारा करदा नी बार बार वे। ये दुनिया पित्तल दी, ये दुनिया पित्तल दी, ये दुनिया पित्तल दी।
Baby hold your breath, तेरे पास जो आऊं तो होश उड़ा दूंगा सच में। Baby wait a sec, तुझे नहीं है पता है कितना मजा मेरे टच में। I know you want it, I know you need it। तेरी आंखों में लिखा है सब कुछ baby I can read it। थोड़ा सीधा साधा हूँ मैं, थोड़ा सा हूँ mad girl। Baby I'm a bad boy, can you be my bad girl? Baby I'm a
Boy, can you be my bad girl?
पिला दे दीवानी मैं हूँ जिसकी I'm a bad girl, I like whiskey. पिला दे दीवानी मैं हूँ जिसकी I'm a bad girl, I like whiskey. जब मुझको चढ़ जाती तो नशे में हो जाती मैं रिस्की. पिला दे दीवानी मैं हूँ जिसकी I'm a bad girl, I like whiskey.
ओ चल कुड़ियां नी चल हो तैयार देसी दारू इंग्लिश बार. चल कुड़ियां नी चल हो तैयार देसी दारू इंग्लिश बार. छोटे छोटे पैग मार बेबी छोटे छोटे पैग मार. छोटे छोटे पैग मार बेबी छोटे.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
ओ आग मेरी सौ सवारी लड़ जावे. ओ जिसे देख दिल मेरा पीछे पीछे पड़ जावे.
है दिन में ये तेरे घर कहीं और गुजरे ये रातें. करना जो तुझी दफा पहली बार कर जावे.
ओ मतलब के समझे इशारे ये सारे ये जो नजरों में अपनी उतारे नजारे.
वो जो सुबह तक ना उतरे हर रात नशा चढ़ता है. नंबर मेरा बाद में मैसेज मुझको कर देना. खुद को समझ के लकी मुझसे हुकअप तू कर लेना.
ले नंबर मेरा बाद में मैसेज मुझको कर देना. खुद को समझ के लकी मुझसे हुकअप तू कर लेना. कभी उसे देखूं आते जाते कर लूं मुलाकातें. मैं तो जरा बातों पे कच्चा हूँ झूठा ही अच्छा हूँ.
सीधी सादी मेरे दिल की साफ है बातें. अच्छी लगी रातें बीते एक लम्हा बाहों में दूजा निगाहों में.
ख्वाबों में आना जाना हो गया है अब पुराना.
सीधा तू मिलने आना दिल मेरा करता है. नंबर मेरा बाद में मैसेज मुझको कर देना. खुद को समझ के लकी मुझसे हुकअप तू कर लेना.
नंबर मेरा बाद में मैसेज मुझको कर देना. खुद को समझ के लकी मुझसे हुकअप तू कर लेना. तेरी आंखों का इशारा समझे है दिल हमारा. कभी ख्वाबों में आके जरा मिल. तेरे पीछे ये बेचारा फिरता है मारा मारा. मेरी सांसों की तू है मंजिल. फिर भी कूल है ये भी तू बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल है. मुँह तेरी थोड़े रूल है. तू है जिसको दीवानी. हाँ ये वक्त नशा तेरा कर करके करता है. रात ये पूरी बेबी स्लो. अब नींद नहीं आनी. डांस मेरी रानी नाच 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 मेरी रानी नाच 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 मेरी रानी नाच 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 मेरी रानी नाच 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 डांस मेरी रानी.
तेरा मेरा तेरा प्यार ना होगा. जितनी कोशिश कर ले तू इनकार ही होगा. खुद के ऊपर कर ले थोड़ी सी मेहरबानी. तेरा होने को ये दिल तैयार ना होगा.
फिर भी कूल है ये भी तू बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल है. मुँह तेरी थोड़े रूल है. तू है जिसको दीवानी.
Take a leave it, better have you just forget it. Give me your heart and I'll break it. मैं तो यार हाँ उड़ जानी.
डांस मेरी रानी नाच 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 मेरी रानी नाच 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 मेरी रानी नाच 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 मेरी रानी. यार कोई इसी चला दो यार. नाच नाच नाच. सही है सही. बाकी सारी फेक लगे देख के तुझको ब्रेक लगे. दूर दूर से ठीक है रानी पास आऊं तो सेक लगे.
पारा इतना हाई हुआ कि थर्मामीटर टूट गया. सैया जी का टपक टपक के हाय पसीना छूट गया.
कैसी गुंडागर्दी है बंदी तू बेदर्दी है. सर्दी में भी कर दी है.
लगेगी नी मैं हूँ हमर वैसे भी कोई जल्दी नहीं मुझको बचपन से ही मैं लेट कमर मिलियन में तू बेबी एक हिलती कमर जैसे स्नेक तेरी सुंदरता पे लिख दूं बेबी 2 फुट लंबा लेख कर दूं 100 बात की एक लेगी मुझको तुम माथा टेक गर्मी कहते हैं किसको तो मुझको गले लगा के देख ऐसे ना तू देख परे दिल क्यों मेरा ब्रेक करे लाल ड्रेस में रानी बिल्कुल रेड वेलवेट का केक लगे
जैसे जाने जाती तू छत पे खड़ के गाना गाती
कुंडी मत खड़का राजा सीधा अंदर आ राजा कुंडी मत
GTT Fiber just got better. We added voice. With GTT Fiber plus voice, get up to 5,000 minutes monthly for just $1,000 more. And keep your existing landline number. Upgrade your current plan and enjoy high-speed internet and landline voice plan to reliably connect you with your friends and family. Plus, with your new Fiber Plus voice plan, you get call waiting, caller ID, and 3-way calls in your new package at no additional cost. Add it up and it just makes sense. Visit gtt.gy/fibervoice22 for more information. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Fiber to Guyana, boy.
And this is your morning's love, your recipe for happiness, guys. You're listening to us here on Subaki PR. Just a reminder that for the best accessories to complement your gorgeous outfits, shop at Beana's Footwear. We offer the most stylish, affordable, and comfortable shoes, handbags, and purses catering for every occasion, so you can look your absolute best. They're located at 110 Regent Street, Lacytown, Georgetown. And remember, you looking your best is our #1 priority. So shop at Beana's Footwear today. Let me see. I think we have a phone call right now. Good morning to you.
Good morning. A call to
Hello,
find
good
out
morning.
A call to find out if the protest is still on. We want to join Italy, but I don't know if the weather cause it to stop.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello.
I'm not sure. I'm not hearing the call. I'm very sorry. But yes, guys, let's continue with the music here on today's edition, our Wednesday edition of Subaki PR. Remember, we bring to you every Wednesday. It's a great mix in music and all things new for the day we bring to you as well. We already shared with you your Bollywood scoop. And so for the last half an hour of the show, we're going to rock great music up until 11 a.m. We hope that you're having a wonderful morning. Enjoy this lovely remix with Elton John and Dua Lipa.
Strong
के चैन ओ मेरे दिल के चैन चैन आए मेरे दिल को दुआ कीजिए
ना जाने
me harder again. देखो अरमान कहे अपनी हद से बढ़ गए.
तेरी बाहों में से खो गए. ख्वाबों का जादू बेकाबू हो गए. ख्वाबों का जादू जादू दिल से यूं लगा दूं बेकाबू हो गए. तेरी बाहों में ऐसे खो गए. तेरी रातों में ऐसे खो गए. जैसे दिन से हम खफा हो गए.
देखो तारे अंगीने रग रग में जलने लगे.
तेरी रातों में ऐसे खो गए. ख्वाबों का जादू बेकाबू हो गए. ख्वाबों का जादू जादू तो छुओ दिल से तो नाचो. तो छुओ तो नाचो. हाँ मेरे साथ नाचो. तो छुओ तो नाचो. तो छुओ तो नाचो. हाँ मेरे साथ नाचो. Oh, I am a disco dancer. I am a disco dancer. Oh, जिंदगी मेरा गाना, मैं इसी का दीवाना. तो झूमो तो नाचो. आओ मेरे साथ नाचो गाओ. I am a disco dancer. Oh, I am a disco dancer.
Shake your body, girl.
बजाती हुई नागिन.
Yo!
वो बदल गया.
रखो ना बेबी कोई भी शंका. अपने प्यार का बजा दो डंका. तेरे मेरे बीच में जो कोई भी आया उसकी लगा दो लंका. छोड़ छाड़ के दुनियादारी बस तेरे पीछे पड़ गया मैं. सपनों में तो ऑलरेडी घोड़ी वोड़ी चढ़ गया मैं. मुझको बेबी लक्की कर. बात हमारी पक्की कर. इतना क्या सोचे मुझे हाँ बोल के काम तो नक्की कर.
मुझे जरूरत मेरे जैसे यार की. मुझे जरूरत मेरे जैसे यार की.
निकली अंधेरे में दुनिया
चली पागल हुआ दीवाना हुआ पागल हुआ दीवाना हुआ कैसी ये दिल की लगी चुरा के दिल मेरा गोरिया चली उड़ा के निंदिया कहाँ तू चली पागल हुआ दीवाना हुआ पागल हुआ दीवाना हुआ कैसी ये दिल की लगी
चुरा के दिल तेरा गोरिया चले मुझे क्या पता कहाँ मैं चली ओ मंजिल मेरी बस तू ही तू मंजिल मेरी बस तू ही तू तेरी गली में चली
चुरा के दिल मेरा गोरिया चली
चुरा के दिल तेरा चली मैं चली
कोई रीत न जाने मैं तो बस तेरे हुए दीवाने मिला जो संग तेरा उड़ा पतंग मेरा हवा में होके मलंग छुड़ाई घर बार मेरा ओ मखना वे मखना तू ही है संसार मेरा ओ मखना वे मखना ये पागल सा है प्यार मेरा ओ मखना वे मखना मैं छुड़ाई घर बार मेरा ओ मखना छुड़ाई घर बार मेरा ओ मखना वे मखना तू ही है संसार मेरा ओ मखना वे मखना ये पागल सा है प्यार मेरा ओ मखना वे मखना मैं छुड़ाई घर बार मेरा ओ मखना सखियां क्यों घोले कानों में कड़वी भाषा सपना है झूठा तेरा झूठी है आशा सखियां ये बोले तेरा परदेसी सैया ना वो घर लौटेगा ना थामेगा भैया जग चाहे जो बोले मैं दिल से क्यों लगाऊं रे सजना के रंग में सजनी बनके मैं रंग जाऊं साजना 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 रे साजना 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 रे सखियां क्यों घोले कानों में कड़वी भाषा सपना है झूठा तेरा झूठी है आशा सखियां ये बोले तेरा परदेसी सैया ना वो घर लौटेगा ना थामेगा भैया जग चाहे जो बोले मैं दिल से क्यों लगाऊं रे सजना के रंग में सजनी बनके मैं रंग जाऊं साजना 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 रे साजना 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 साजना
है चांद सा मुखड़ा क्या कहना उसका आफरी दावत में जैसे ओ शाही टुकड़ा उसके जैसी न कोई नाज़नी शाही जोड़ा पहन के आई जो बंधन के वही तो मेरी स्वीट हार्ट है शर्माई सी बगल में जो बैठी है दुल्हन के वही तो मेरी स्वीट हार्ट है शाही जोड़ा पहन के आई जो बंधन के वही तो मेरी स्वीट हार्ट है शर्माई सी बगल में जो बैठी है दुल्हन के वही तो मेरी स्वीट हार्ट है
जपदा फिरा हीरिए तेरा नाम जपदा फिरा तेरे नाम तो सदके में जावा तेरे नाम तो सदके में जावा.
In 5 seconds, we gotta say bye-bye. Bye.
Guys, it has been another lovely Wednesday. We wanted the music to play more this morning. We hope that you've enjoyed all these wonderful mixes from Selector Alex. This is your duo here on the morning, Sarita and Joshua. Thanks for joining us with Selector Alex being on your ones and twos. And we hope that the music, the content, the vibe, and everything has been driving your morning in the exact direction it needs to go in. All right? We hope that you have a great day. Stay with us here. Keep it locked to Kaieteur Radio for the remainder of the day. We've got great news, great content, great announcers, everything lined up your way. On behalf of Josh, myself, and Selector Alex, we wish you a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
कमर ते टैटू है कमाल यो कुड़ी कौन नचदी जी दे लम्मे लम्मे सिल्की जे वाल यो कुड़ी कौन नचदी जी दी कमर ते टैटू है कमाल यो कुड़ी कौन नचदी
तेरे उत्ते आया मेरा की कसूर लब तेरे नाल पाया मेरा की कसूर
साडे बारे दस तेरा की ख्याल ओ कुड़ी कौन नचदी रात कमाल तू मेरे नाल लग तेरा हिले जीवे आया पूछाल है जीने की तमन्ना है पीने का इरादा तू कर ले मुझसे वादा ओ सोनिए तक करेंगे आधा ना कम ना ज्यादा तू कर ले मुझसे वादा ओ सोनिए कमाल है तू मेरे नाल है लक तेरा हिले जीवे आया पूछाल रात कमाल है तू मेरे नाल है लक तेरा हिले जीवे आया पूछाल
जब दोगे तब you get to get ये लव दा सीजन है छड्डो रहना sad हो जो सारे happy if you feeling bad आओ ले लो greedy puppy छड्डो रहना sad हो जो सारे happy if you feeling bad आओ ले लो greedy puppy
This is the puppy song. చూస్తారు పొట్టి పొట్టి కౌనే వేస్తే పట్టి పట్టి చూస్తారు ఒక కాదు కౌను కాదు కట్టులోన ఏముంది మీ కళ్ళల్లోనే అంతా ఉంది మీ మగ బుద్ధి వంకర బుద్ధి ఊ అంటవా అమ్మవా ఊ అంటవా అమ్మవా
చేస్తాడు తెలుపు నలుపు కాదు మీకు రంగుతో పని ఏముంది సందు దొరికిందంటే చాలు మీ మగ బుద్ధే వంకర బుద్ధి ఊ అంటావా అమ్మవా ఊ అంటావా అమ్మవా హాయ్ ఊ అంటావా అమ్మవా ఊ అంటావా అమ్మవా ఎత్తుకుంటే ఒకడు ఎగిరి గంతులేస్తాడు కురుసాకుంటే ఒకడు మురిసిపోతాడు ఎత్తు కాదు కురుసా కాదు మీకో సత్యం చెబుతాను అందిన ద్రాక్ష తీపి మీకు మీ మగ బుద్ధి వంకర బుద్ధి ఊ అంటావా మావా ఊ అంటావా మావా ఊ అంటావా మావా ఊ అంటావా మావా
Oh God, one more remix.
दिल धड़काए और सीटी बजाए दिल धड़काए सीटी बजाए बीच सड़क पर नखरा दिखाए सारे हो करके इशारे हो लड़की ओ लड़की आंख मारे ओ लड़की आंख मारे ओ लड़की आंख मारे
जहाँ जहाँ जाऊँ मेरे पीछे पीछे आए गली गली के आशिक तो वो मेरा होना चाहे
हाय जहाँ जहाँ जाए तेरे पीछे पीछे आए हम तो है दीवाने तेरे तेरा होना चाहे
सीटी बजाए नखरे दिखाए सीटी बजाए नखरे दिखाए बीच सड़क में हर नाम मेरा पुकारे ओ करके इशारे ओ लड़का
Are you a Kaieteur newspaper advertiser? Well then, we have great news for you. Kaieteur Radio presents a 50% discount on all radio advertisements only for a limited time. To advertise, contact us on 225-8465 or 226-7455 or email us at kaieteurradioads@gmail.com. You can even visit our office at 24 Saffron Street, Charlestown, Georgetown. Kaieteur Radio, covering you from coast to coast.
Building cement, cement board, and sheetrock are now zero rated, following an order signed on May 17, 2022 by Senior Minister within the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh. The zero rated status enables suppliers to reclaim any VAT paid at the time the order was issued, while also ensuring that these materials are sold to consumers VAT-free. For more information, contact GRA's Tax Advisory Services section on 227-6060 extension 8000. Check out our YouTube channel or visit us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn to learn more.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
In Guyana's third report to the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, an international watchdog that allows citizens to track revenues remitted to the state from the oil and mining sectors, the spotlight was placed on the employment records of onshore and offshore petroleum explorers. Of all the companies listed, however, only one entity reported no employees for the 2019 reporting period. That company is On Energy Inc., a wholly owned subsidiary of Canadian firm CGX Resources Inc. On Energy holds the Berbice block, for which it signed an agreement with the state on February 15, 2013. And also making headlines today, public pressure forces review of Exxon's drilling campaign in Kaieteur and Kanji oil blocks. Gunman robs 3 and escapes in couple's car. Police recover vehicle hours after. Consortium bids $200 million, higher than engineers estimate to construct abattoir. Dredge owner dies after mining pit collapses. Norton has to consult with AFC to pronounce on taxing oil companies. And as Exxon ramps up production, World Bank urges Guyana to be wary of environmental consequences and overheating the economy. And that's the news of the moment. Remember to get the full details of these stories, pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News. And don't forget, you can catch us on the MyTuner app as well as the Radio Garden app. You can also keep up to date by liking our Facebook page at Kaieteur Radio and subscribing to our YouTube channel, Kaieteur Radio Livestream. Oh, also catch our stream at www.kaieteurnewsonline.com/radio.
Diana, join me on the Glenn Lal Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:20 p.m. and a rebroadcast at 11 a.m. The Glenn Lal Show only on Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 and 99.5 FM.
The time has now moved on to 11 hours 3 in Guyana. Coming up next, a rebroadcast of the June 13, 2022 edition of the Glenn Lal Show. Tell it as it is.
Namaste. We have a very special friend from the States. He's a friend of a friend. He's visiting, and he decided to pay us a visit at the radio station. A few minutes ago, he was asked by a member staff if he does exercise. And the man said, he said when he look at those machines, he get tired. My friend, Tony, welcome to Guyana, bro.
Thank you.
And I like that answer you give me, man. When you look at the machines, them big heavy machines, you get tired. I can't help laughing, brother. But I tell you, all my life I love to exercise. Exercise keeps me going. Living in a country, doing newspaper business for the last 28 years, not an easy thing to do. You can go crazy if you don't exercise. So I try to exercise almost every day, on Monday to Friday. You give me a chance on Saturday and Sunday, I'll run in the gym and do 20-30 minutes too. With that, I say namaste to all you wonderful people listening to me across the country and wherever you are. Wednesday, Joshua, I'm planning to come and sit here without saying anything. I just wanted to interact with you people. I want you guys to prepare all your questions and let's see how much I can answer. And this way we can have a one-on-one discussion as to where our leaders are taking this country. Every day that goes by, I am not feeling too healthy. Healthy in the sense of not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. It's bleak and it's dark and it's worrying. The International Transparency Body, EITI, is calling on the administration to release all the contracts signed by both governments in the extractive industry. Guyana had agreed to supply this international organization with this information on all the companies working in our gold, in our diamond, our timber, and in our bauxite sectors. On to now, they have been hiding that. That is being kept away from the Guyanese people. The government is refusing to hand over those informations. Why, my friend? Ms. Harris?
Corruption.
Why everything in this country, the leaders do got to be secret?
Corruption.
Hmm?
We know the answer.
Just think about that and let's get going. Pakistan is following the footsteps of Sri Lanka at present. Them also in a big debt crisis. Can't pay the humongous loans they took from everybody that was willing to lend them. Yes, they can't pay it back now.
Especially China.
They concoct and create a budget for this year in which millions of their citizens are on the starvation line. Just to get sympathy from the people who lend them those monies. They're doing that. They did that budget to get sympathy, to have the lending institutions feel pity for them. Basically, they're looking for another payment plan. Yes. All they're doing there is delaying the disaster that's ahead for the entire Pakistan. That's what they're doing. Nothing else but that. Our leaders here, under both governments, have already created huge debts that we ain't even start paying. And every day that goes by, they're adding more billions to it. Yes, and this entire country is silent, my friend. Let me ask you guys this simple question. You struggling to put food on your table, and your big brother have strangers going into your farm, fetching out all the coconuts from it. And when you guys ask him what is going on, what is the deal he has with those people, he's stuttering, he's ducking and hiding from the question. What are you going to do with him, man? What would you do with him, Ms. Harris?
Kick him up, kick him out.
Yes. Well, that is the exact thing President Irfan Ali and the opposition leader Norton doing here with our bauxite, our gold, our diamond, and the other resources we have. Yes. The foreigners fetching out all of it. And when we ask our government to see the contracts they sign with them, they're gone deaf and dumb. I have been constantly talking about this situation, and it has been falling on duck back. Now the international organization, EITI, put out a report saying it's the third time they're asking to see the mining contracts, and they are getting nowhere. Why they don't want us to see it, Uncle? Auntie? Where are they hiding it? Which dark hole they push it in? These are the type of questions you guys have to ask them. If it wasn't for the EITI report that came out last week, the media would have never known that we have more than 10 large-scale miners in our back dam. We would never know that. 10 we have. Large-scale miners, you know. I'm not talking about small and medium-scale miners. Large-scale we got in the back dam. And the size of the acreage or square miles these companies own in Guyana. Man, some of the islands given out or some of the lands give out to these people is larger than some of the biggest islands. It's bigger than some of the Caribbean islands we have. Islands like Wekenham, Legwan, Hag Island. Yeah, that's the kind of land given out to these people. For instance, Miss Harris, we have one named Rusal. Yes. The Russian Bauxite Company owns 3 parts of Guyana with a total of 26 square miles of land. Hag Island is Guyana's largest island. And what this Russian company has is larger than Hag Island. You hear that? Are they doing bauxite alone?
No.
This is the same Rusal uncle that say if they make no profit in 10 years. Yes. But still in Guyana, holding on to 26 square miles of our country. Over 10 years these people in this country, you know. Working every single day, you know. Shipping out bauxite every hour, you know. And telling this country they may make him profit. They may make him money. You know what I mean? You don't got nothing to get. Yeah. Guyana Industrial Minerals Inc., a Chinese company extracting bauxite in Bonasica, right opposite the Hag Island. They were given a total acreage or area of 29.5 square miles. You hear that? And Hag Island is only 23 square miles. Almost 30 square miles these people were given. They get more lands than the citizens of Wekenham and Legwan put together, man. Them 2 islands. One I come from Wekenham. This is a lovely country, eh? Yes. You love this country, Tony?
Oh, yeah.
You gotta love this country, man.
If you're foreigner.
Starvation is ahead for your grand and grandchildren, uncle and auntie. That's where we are heading with these political clowns y'all have. Guyana Goldfield Inc. has 22, almost 23 square miles. That's double the size of Legwan. Yes, raking out our gold, our diamond, and all the rest of rich minerals in the Cayuni neighborhood or area. Then comes another name, North American Resources Inc., with just over half the size of my island, Wekenham. Fetching away we gold and diamond again. Troy Resources. This is an Australian company that was given a size, the size of the gold land, bigger than Hag Island. 23.6 square miles. You understand what's going on in this land, brother?
Guyanese can't get a house locked.
Yeah, man. You want to hear more?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give you more, man. One named Romanex, Guyana Exploration Limited. Their land size that they were given is bigger than Legwan, 17 square miles. Then we have another one named Ontario Cooperated. Gold and diamond again with 13 square miles. Korea Mining holds a large-scale license for the extraction of gold and diamond. I think this is a local company. Them get a total of 5.7 square miles. Pereira Mining, I think this is a local with foreign partners. With foreign partners. They have half of Legwan for gold and diamond. I think this is the same, these are the same players, yes, that receive one of the oil blocks. Kanji or Kaieteur? Kaieteur. The Kaieteur oil block. Man, And you see what's going on here? When they're not getting your gold and diamond fields in the square miles, they're getting you oil blocks for nothing. I am told that the Chinese at Matthews Ridge is not only there for your manganese, but they are fetching out enough gold too. Yeah, man. The EITI report, uncle, said that there are 62 other small and medium scale mining companies in Wibak Dam. And those 62 companies does contribute. You hear this, Miss Harris? Them does contribute the same amount. What them 10 large scale miners contributing to the gold board. 62 small ones.
Are we getting none of the concessions?
These are local people. Well, we local people, 62 of them,
Getting no concessions.
that got no concession, no duty free, no nothing. Them contribute 50.7% gold to the gold board. And the 10 large scale, most of them, 8 are foreigners, give the gold board 49 and something percent. You guys continue your silence, man. Untold hardships are ahead. Unimaginable sufferings await your future. Continue sleeping. You know, I need something to drink. Yeah. You know, I told you guys, don't worry about who will be offended by speaking or standing up for the truth. I told you guys that. Worry about who will be misled, deceived, and destroyed if you guys don't. We have to stand up as a body. We got to stand up as Guyanese and fight for our thing. Our leaders are giving away these things as if it belonged to their parents and not we. Guys, we got to stand up. We got to fight. We got to protest. Today the protest went on at the Square of Revolution and not many people turned up. Why? Prayers alone can't help. God said, or God help those who help themselves. Not true, Bernard?
Yes.
God said help. God said He helped those who help themselves. Let's move on, man. I'm getting tired with this. I talked about U.S. President Joe Biden Friday gone when he said Exxon made more money than God last year, and he's going after them to pay their fair share of taxes in the USA. In the USA, uncle, that's where the man says, I want to play him. I want to play him so you guys could hear what he said.
Why don't you tell them what Exxon's profits were this quarter? Exxon made more money than God this year. And by the way, nothing's changed. And they're not, by the way, one thing I want to say about the oil companies. They talk about how they have 9,000 permits to drill. They're not drilling. Why aren't they drilling? Because they make more money not producing more oil. The price goes up, number one. And number two, the reason they're not drilling is they're buying back their own stock, which should be taxed, quite frankly, buying back their own stock and making no new investments. So I always thought Republicans are for investment. Exxon, start investing, start paying your taxes.
Exxon, start investing, start paying your taxes. You heard him there, Uncle and Auntie. That was the President of the United States, Mr. Joe Biden. You heard him with your own ears there. He said 9,000 permits to drill in the USA. and they are not drilling. Y'all know why, uncle? If they drill in the United States, they got to pay more than 70% in royalties and taxes. In Guyana, they get it free. And Joe Biden said, them even buying back their own shares in their own companies, robbing the U.S. of more taxes because, uncle, when you buy shares, no money is passed and you don't have no money in your hand, so you don't have to pay any taxes.
Exactly. Smart.
You don't have to pay any taxes.
There's a million ways to avoid paying taxes.
Yes.
And the oil companies know all of that.
Yes, they know everything. Yeah, you buy shares. When you buy shares here, you move it to this share, to that share. No money is in your hands. It's just paperwork. Right. So the man know it. And John Hess spoke about that too last week when he was boasting about Guyana. Oh boy. Exxon, the man said, Exxon, start paying your taxes. While in Guyana, Glenlal have to take my government. Glenlal have to take my government to court for Exxon, pay their fair share of taxes. You believe this thing, Tony? I have to take my government to court to get Exxon to pay their fair share of taxes. Yeah. Uncle, if the U.S. president telling an American company to pay their fair share of taxes, why Guyana president cannot tell the American company, Exxon, to pay their taxes, man? Can somebody help me there?
Corruption.
You think I go into search? You think I go into search for gold in America to pay 70% if I find any? When I don't find the treasure trove in Guyana, Miss Harris, and just keep and know that I only handing these clowns at 2%. No, man, I gotta be a fool. I gotta be an idiot. I got born in Hubu back, damn. That's why the people is not gonna go and drill in America.
No.
Because they find it here and they're getting it for free.
We pay the taxes.
Yes, we pay the taxes too. Yeah, man. This got to be, my friend, this got to be a bourgeois country called Guyana that we live in. Yes. I have to share this with y'all. One of the defense Exxon put up against me in court, they say, the people say that if they pay the taxes, they're going to go bankrupt. I swear to God, that's one of the defense the people put up. You hear me? In the court. It came out and it will come out down the road. If they have to pay taxes in Guyana, they will go bankrupt.
And why do we care? That's
No, but that's what these people, that's one thing they're fighting me. And here is the U.S. telling the world that Exxon made more money than God Almighty. My court case coming up early, very soon, uncle. I'll let you guys know the date in advance. I told you guys how President Biden is going to pass a new law to slap on an additional 50% tax on all the oil companies, although they just increased royalty rates in December, God. Another 50%, them going to Congress to slap on the oil companies. We have our leaders protecting and defending the lopsided Exxon contract. Man, these people defend this contract so much that Exxon partner boasting how these clowns we have as leaders will abide by the sanctity of the contract. Listen to him, how he boasting last week How this man boasted last week, Uncle?
John Hess.
Yes, in the interview he had. In the interview the man had with this guy.
Guyana is a small country. It's the only English-speaking country in South America. Used to be a British colony. Parliamentary system. It's independent. Contract sanctity is honored. And it's run now by President Ali and Vice President Jagdeo, who was president for 10 years after a 5-year gap where a different party were running. So it's, a democratic system, peaceful transfer of power and all that. This government that is running the country is very pro-business, wants to accelerate investing in their oil resource so they can monetize it, so they can lift the country out of poverty. The country 2 years ago had a GDP per capita of Jordan. In the next 5 years, it'll have GDP per capita superior to Brazil or Mexico.
Wow. Contract sanctity is honored. That's what the man said, dear uncle. You heard him yourselves. John Hess. The man have faith in Guyana's leaders more than he got in God Almighty. Yeah, so confident. The man can brag and boast how safe and sound they are. With the black, brown and purple peoples of Guyana and that contract, uncle. Yes. That's what the man is boasting and bragging about, our contract. Uncle, nothing will change. Guyana will make more money per capita in 5 years than Brazil and Mexico did. That's what the man said. You hear that? Guyana will make more money per capita in 5 years than Brazil and Mexico. That's what he said just now. You understand? Uncle, in simple language, this is what the man means. And let me explain it. Mexico at present is $5,000 a day. Every citizen living by. And Brazil, $6,000. That's where he boasting. Taking every one of us as Guyanese. That's where he carrying us. Yes. And we must be content. We must be happy with that, Miss Harris. $5,000 and $6,000 a day. You hear that, man?
Yeah, because we black and brown.
Yes, because we black, we brown, and we purple.
That's what we deserve.
Exactly.
And Mexico is a hellhole.
And
Brazil is a hellhole.
Exactly. You see which country. No, but I just want you guys to hear which country this man is equating us with.
We have more oil than Norway. We should be better than Norway.
Exactly.
Norway has 50,000 US a year.
We are the third. And very soon we will become the leading country per capita, per citizen, uncle, where oil is concerned. And this man is boasting and telling his people how Guyana will be in 5 years in par with Mexico and Brazil. You see how disrespectful these white people are? With your own thing, my brother? Are you understand what's going on in this land, man? It makes you sick. It makes you want to vomit sometimes when you listen to these people. The man said this government that is running this country is very pro-business. Want us to accelerate the oil production so they can monetize it and lift the country out of poverty. Man, oh boy. Oh yes. Monetize it and lift this country out of poverty. Every day Ashley Singh talking about borrowing money.
Yes.
Just last week they're borrowing 100 million US for build the East Bank public road.
Yes.
Today the newspaper said they're borrowing 44 million US. Yes. Yeah, this is how you're lifting a country out of poverty, John S.
By borrowing.
Give
By borrowing. No, by borrowing. You're borrowing, paying interest rates on these loans. Man, let's move on, please. Hear how sweet our contract is for these oil gangsters. Uncle, we give away the entire 2022 budget, paying ExxonMobil and his partners taxes, and then turn around and running every day to CDB, IMF, World Bank to borrow loans to fix and patch roads and to buy flash drives for the children in the schools. You gotta love these political clowns, all of them, Miss Harris?
Yes.
Gotta love them, man.
Sorry for that.
Had we collected the taxes alone, that together with the 2022 budget money, Miss Harris, everybody's salary would have been double already. Pensioners would have doubled their little take they get into. Roads, hospitals, schools, bridges, all would have been doubled or fixed up to. If they were to fix one road in 2022, two roads could have been fixed. Man, the children in the school, all the children in the schools right across this country could have also been given a laptop with internet. Yes. And Guyana would have been on the road to Dubai. Yes, to Dubai rather than Mexico and Brazil, Uncle. Taxes alone, you know, Miss Harris. Just the taxes alone. I ain't bring profit there, you know, man.
Not even the little puny royalty.
Yes.
Just the taxes.
I am not talking about changing the contractor. I'm just talking about the taxes alone.
The taxes that they will be.
Yes. And don't forget, Jagdeo, yes, got to correct and fix this tax situation before he granted approval for the Payara, the third project. But he did not. It could have been changed and we could have gotten our taxes, every cent, when he approved the fourth project. Again, he did not. That situation could have changed again, Uncle, for the third time, when he had the Lisa 1 permit renewal in his hand. That clown did not use the trump card he had in his hand to say, Exxon, it is time you start paying the Guyanese people at least the taxes. Come on. And hold back the renewal. But again, this man didn't do that. The opposition leader, Aubrey Norton, could have opened his mouth and demanded that Jagdeo did that and much, much more for the starving people of this country. But he mouth too went up his. Yeah, right there. He opened it when the horse bolted out the stable. Then he talked. Yeah, man. Guyana gave away to Exxon and partners 2.3 billion in taxes for 2022. That is what we are set to give away, 2.3 billion American dollars this year. And now Ashley Singh running to the World Bank for $100 million. And like I said today, they announced another 44 million American dollars they're going to borrow for the education sector. Are you believe this thing? This thing is real. It's in today's newspaper, man. Read it. Somebody got to help me, man. Guyana going to borrow $100 million US to fix back the roads what the oil industry or the oil sector damaging, brother. Could you believe that? You believe this thing was happening? You live in the States, man. Florida. You understand business too. Guyana is set to receive in 2022. Hear this one. Listen to me carefully and understand what I tell you, man. We set to get less than $1 billion American dollar and has to pay $2.3 billion in taxes for the oil companies. How you like that, man? Take the one and go back to Florida with it. That's what we got to do. You got to pay more than what you earn. This is the way to do business, eh? This is the way these cake shop gangsters running a country. Ali Norton and Jagdeo. Yeah. This tax madness, uncle. This insanity is what your leaders should call a special session of parliament. Even if it's a holiday, and get this crap changed. So that these children can put some biscuit in their lunch kits when they go to school, when the day come. But, it's a but, my friend. What are we hearing? Nothing. You want to hear more, uncle? Because I plan to finish early tonight, you know. You want to hear how much more this tax insanity gets? Guyana agreed to give them a receipt saying that their taxes was paid here, so they don't have to pay taxes in them country. How you like that one, man? We don't only agree to pay the taxes for them. Pay more than what we owe, what we earn. But we giving them a receipt saying that their taxes was paid in Guyana. So they don't have to pay taxes in the US. They don't pay here. These cake shop clowns, yes, you have parading themselves as politicians. How much more are you guys going to sit back and take in this land, man? If we take 1 billion, the 1 billion we set to get this year and pay GRA, Guyana will still owe GRA $1.3 billion for Exxon and their partners. How you like that one, man? Because only one we said we getting. This is what you call business. Is business or busyness this is? Which one? Huh? 2023 profits, uncle, will be used to pay off 2022 taxes for Exxon. So Guyana Oil, at the rate things going, we are not even getting half of the taxes we have to pay for the oil companies. How you like that one, man? Like how the oil price has gone up, Miss Harris, is more profits for the oil companies, which means more taxes Guyana will have to pay for them. Where are your leaders, man? They're wrong? These people are wrong in this country? They live in this country? Huh? John Hess, Exxon partner, said the 11 billion barrels of oil discovered so far is just the tip of the iceberg. 1 billion barrel, uncle, at $100 barrel, uncle, is 100 billion American dollars we talking about, auntie. Just 1 billion. One at $100 barrel is 100 billion US dollars, uncle. Guess what? 3 billion out of that can pay off all we debt. Since Janam Jug, we got $3 billion. We can't pay it. Only three. Not 100 billion, 3 can pay off all we debt. The whole of Sri Lanka debt that have 36 million population going through starvation now. Them in 52 billion debt. Can't pay. They can't pay at all. Them in trouble. That 100 billion is just from 1 billion barrel, uncle. If we were to take the whole 11 billion barrels at $100, is 1,100 billion American dollars. Not one. You hear that, my friend? 1100 billion US. And Nigeria got 200 million population, and them got $108 billion debt. 1 billion barrel oil, yes, can pay off Nigeria debt. But them there with their knees, on their knees at the World Bank, begging for $8 billion for help them come out of the COVID. Uncle, 1100 billion. And that is only the tip of the iceberg. Or as John Hess says, it's only the first innings we start in the Stabroek Block alone. Are you get me there? That is only the first innings in the Stabroek Block alone, uncle. A small portion of it too. Not the whole block, you know. Just a part of it. You guys see the kind of cash these people talking about that sits out there. Are you understand what's happening here? And then them have the nerve to tell the world that Guyana will be a little richer than Mexico and Brazil. How you like that one, man? Here the kind of wealth we have, and them tell the world how we gonna be a little richer than Mexico and Brazil. Two poor ass country. Yeah, man. Barely living with $5,000 and $6,000 per person per day. I wanted to watch John Hess in his face and tell him his eyes pass every single Guyanese. But I have to change that to these corrupt cake shop clowns we have as leaders. We got to tell them that. We can't tell John Hess that. 1,100 billion American dollars. I wonder if Jack David Norton would ever get that money to pay the taxes on that.
Not yet. My competition is coming up in just 2 weeks. I really need to continue practicing.
Why are you crying?
I'm trying to show emotions.
Yes, but you can't. Stop. Jesus. You're not crying here. You gotta be frustrated.
Me crying, that's supposed to be frustration.
Millions of their citizens facing starvation in the north. I saw it only last night. Sorry, in the south of Pakistan. Google these things, uncle and auntie. They are there for the world to see. The internet is not for Facebook and YouTube alone. Ask your nephew or your nieces or your children to check it out for you. You will see it's there. They are pumping from Lisa 1 and 2 presently. And we would have 1.3 billion owed to GRA from what we receive, uncle. When they start pumping in 3 and 4, we would have about 6 billion every year and still be borrowing to run this country. I love it. And I love these cake shop clowns. You know, my friend, my Trini friend always say, Glenn, they have a million ways you can get robbed in the oil sector if you don't keep your head on. Checking and authorizing spendings by these oil gangsters is key to saving your pockets, uncle. Everything these people spend, they can hand you a bill 5 times the actual cost. And I am putting my neck on the chopping block, uncle. Take it off if that has not been happening from day one in our oil sector. Miss Harris? I mean it, chop me head off.
That's why they don't want to do Papa.
This is one way they swindle away your profits, uncle. Rentals and leases is another major area in which they take off your clothes and still have you smiling as if your underwear is on. Yeah, man. That's how sneaky they are. What have you heard from these cake shop leaders on these expenses, Miss Harris? I have said Trinidad and Suriname paying $12,000 a day for rental supply boat. Guyana paying $55,000 US a day. Work or no work. That's just an example I give you guys. I give you guys a few examples of where, how and how much Guyana is being raped by these criminals. From the Exxon contract to we taxes, the gold, diamond, we bauxite, the rentals, leases, and supply boats with them helicopters. All them things you are getting robbed, Miss Harris. I want to leave you guys with one more way in which these people robbing this nation and our cake shop clowns, the cake shop clowns we have as politicians are silent. Should I or should I take a break? Relinquishment, uncle. I know all these information is a lot, Relinquishment is a big word. But uncle, it simply means give back a portion of the area you give a man to work. Let's say you give a man a 5-acre land for plant rice. 5 years later, he got to give you back 1 acre. The same thing with gold. You give a man a 10-acre for work your gold. After 5 years, he must give you back 2 acres. That is 20%. In the oil industry, uncle, every oil block, no matter the size, the same standard applies. After 5 years, each one of them have to give back 20% of the block. When you get back your 20%, uncle, you can do whatever you want to do with it. You can keep it, or in the case of the oil blocks, you can put it on the international market where you can get some money. We lose out when these clowns give away them for free. Right, you can put it on the open market, uncle, when you get it, so we can auction, so we can make some money. Yes. the owners of the Kanuku oil block, Ms. Harris, you got to hear this one. This is very important. The owners of the Kanuku oil block give up their 20%. The Quarantine and the Demerara oil blocks, the owners, yes, same thing they did. They give up their 20%. The Kanji oil block give up their 20% too. But here this one, uncle and auntie, the Kaieteur oil block, them got to give back 25%. That's the arrangement. Not 20, 25%. And then we give back Guyana nothing on to now. And they were supposed to hand us our 25% since February this year. But as of today, no word from these, what you call them, man? Sailors? Yeah, these Balahu sailors you have for leaders. We hear a word from them. Why Kaieteur owners not giving we our share back, Miss Harris? You know why?
They like it more than we like it. They like
Who are the
it more
owners?
than we like it.
The cake shop leaders? I'm just asking. I doubt whether I can get lawsuit for asking. I'm just asking. As for the Stabrook oil block, uncle, ExxonMobil, them got a different and special contract from all the rest of the oil blocks. Their contract says not 5 years. Them one got 7 years to hand back them 20%. While all the rest got 5 years. Exxon got 7 years to give back their 20%. And that begins in 2023. So we'll wait and see. Yeah? Come next year, we'll wait and see what plays out there.
They look very
But
comfortable.
we still got to keep our eyes. We carried that story yesterday in the newspaper. Kaieteur didn't give up their 20% yet. This is how the white world treats third world people, uncle. And let me explain why there is no second world. Because the gap between the rich white and the poor red, yellow, and pink of this world is so wide that it can never be bridged to have a second world. Yes. It's straight from the first world to third world. Yes. The white world is the first world. And there's no bridge there. You go straight to the third one. There's no gap.
Yep.
That's we. The non-whites of the world. That's where we are. This is where Guyana finds itself. Being treated like third world people. Especially with these cake shop clowns running this land. What they have done to Guyana. Guys, you really believe they can do that to any first world country?
Not
at Miss Harris?
all. Not at all.
But this is not, it's not being done by the white man alone, Miss Harris.
Could you imagine this happening in Norway, in
Yes.
England, in America?
Exactly.
In, you know?
It cannot happen there.
It would never happen.
Yeah.
It would never happen.
But it's not being done by the white man alone. It's our brown, yellow, and purple leaders who's harboring this disrespect. And unless you people rise up, unless we take to the streets, unless we fight against these corrupt politicians, Guyana, 100 years from now, will still be a third world nation.
If we exist.
Oh, I'm so pity for you guys. I feel so sorry for you people. The Sultan of Brunei, a country of 450,000 people, just like Suriname, who was once the richest man on earth, walks around his country without a single bodyguard. You know why, uncle? Every citizen of that country got their fair share of wealth. Yes, the leader didn't thief it for himself. He shared it with his people. Here in Guyana, we have people going in nightclubs who are not even a minister and have 9 armed policemen watching his back. I went to a bar last week, and when I saw that, I shake my head in disgust. I even asked one of the policemen what is going on, and he shook his head and said, Glenn, it is what it is. Yeah. 9 policemen. One of them, one of even a minister. I can call his name, but they can get the policemen for saying no, they weren't guarding him. His name end with a ton. You know the ton? Yeah. Walking around with 9 policemen. Let me end tonight by telling you what a man named Leonard Palter said. I don't know how to save the world. I don't have the answers or the answer. I hold no secret knowledge of how to fix the mistakes of generations past and present. I only know that without honesty, compassion and respect for all of Earth's inhabitants, none of us will survive, nor will
News on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good day, welcome to your news at noon on Kaieteur Radio. I'm Kevin Smith. In Guyana's third report to the Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, or EITI, an international watchdog that allows citizens to track revenues remitted to the state from the oil and mining sectors, the spotlight was placed on the employment records of onshore and offshore petroleum explorers. Of all the companies listed, however, only one entity reported no employees for the 2019 reporting period. That company is On Energy Inc., a wholly owned subsidiary of Canadian firm CGX Resources Inc. On Energy holds the Berbice block, for which it signed an agreement with the state on February 15, 2013. The report notes that CGX has 30 male and 8 female Guyanese employees. No expatriates were on the payroll for 2019. For Esso, the Stabroek block operator reported 52 males and 29 females, all from Guyana, being part of their permanent staff, along with 109 male foreigners and 15 female expats. Total workforce at the time of the 2019 reporting period was therefore 205. In other news, the Environmental Protection Agency will be holding a public hearing at the end of the month at the Roraima Duke Lodge to address appeals submitted with regard to the entity's decision to forego the need for an environmental impact assessment for Esso's latest proposed 12-well campaign. The decision to hold a public hearing has since been communicated by the EPA and relates to 2 separate 12-well drilling campaigns proposed by ExxonMobil Guyana for exploration ventures in the Kaieteur and Kanji oil blocks. According to the EPA, the decision was taken in accordance with the Environmental Protection Act, which stipulates that public hearings be conducted into all appeals submitted against the EPA's decision not to require an environmental impact assessment for the project. And moving on, given ExxonMobil's aggressive approach towards unlocking more oil in the Stabroek block, which already holds almost 11 billion barrels of oil equivalent resources, the World Bank is now warning Guyana to be wary of the environmental and economic consequences that come with an accelerated pace of development. The financial institution has been one of the nation's key development partners since the discovery of oil in May of 2015. Over the years, it has spoken glowingly about the nation's potential to be a model state with oil and gas, as well as the significant revenues that will come. The World Bank was keen to note that the real challenge will be for Guyana to transform this newfound oil boom into a better standard of living for citizens. And moving on. Governments in the United States and other oil-producing countries around the world have moved to induce a one-off tax for such companies that have been operating and enjoying increased profits as the cost of oil continues to surge on the global market, largely owing to the war between Russia and Ukraine. Locally, Vice President Bharat Jagdeo has confirmed that it is the citizens that forced those countries to slap the one-off taxes on those companies, arguing that this could not be replicated in Guyana since we are bound by a PSA with very specific terms on the taxation side. Leader of the opposition Aubrey Norton, on the other hand, could not definitely say whether he agrees with this policy for the oil companies operating in Guyana, since he must first consult with the AFC on this. When Norton was pressed to say whether the party supports the one-off tax as instituted in other countries, Norton said he believes that the coalition has to review the present situation and then make its position clear. And moving on. A lone gunman on a Monday ran off the streets, pounced on 3 persons sitting in front of a supermarket at Vredenhoop, West Coast Demerara, and then drove off with the couple's car. Region 3 police investigators were able to locate the vehicle hours after on Tuesday morning, abandoned at Rossville, Roxanne Burnham Gardens. The robbery was captured on the supermarket's camera and showed a lone gunman dressed in an orange jersey, a black cap, and a black 3/4 pants pouncing on the 3 persons sitting outside. Those individuals were identified as a woman and her husband, the owners of the car, and the female owner of the supermarket. According to investigations, the robbery took place around 21 hours. The time is now 12 hours 7 in Ghana. We'll take a short break and return with your news.
Go loud or go home. Never miss out on your favorite local radio segments, local and international podcasts, and DJ mixes. That's right. With the Go Loud app. Discover podcasts like Common Sense, Red Table Talk, The Breakfast Club, and the best mixes from DJs worldwide, and much more. Stream all of your favorite local radio stations in one app. Go loud on what matters to you. Download the Go Loud app in the App or Play Store today and start listening.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Welcome back. Let us continue with the news. A dredge owner was on Monday killed after one of the walls of a mining pit collapsed and buried him at the Makobi Back Dam in Region 8. He has been identified as 64-year-old Donald Govaya, also called Danny, of Sobrianville, Georgetown. According to police, the pit, which measures some 70 feet deep, collapsed around 12 hours. Govaya and his workmen were working in the pit when the tragic incident occurred. Investigators learned that the dredge owner was at the time operating as a jetman, which is a worker who controls a high-pressure hose to cut and wash the land, when the western side of the pit began to cave in. Get the full details in today's Kaieteur News. Meanwhile, a single bid has been submitted to construct and install an abattoir in Region 5, a project which falls under the purview of the Ministry of Agriculture. Of interest is the fact that the bid is $200 million more than the engineer's estimate to build the facility. According to the engineer's estimate, the cost to build the abattoir is $470.6 million. The bidder, which is a consortium consisting of Arkisun Contracting Services and Hook Mali, submitted a bid of $651.1 million to the National Procurement and Tender Administration Board office to execute the works. The ministry, in its invitation for bids, stated that having received financing from the Inter-American Development Bank's funded Sustainable Agricultural Development Project, the government is planning to use part of the funds to facilitate the construction and installation of abattoir and other related infrastructures in Region 5. And now let's tell you, the Guyana Association of Professional Engineers in its quarterly report is urging that careful planning be implemented as the country embarks on a number of US billions of dollars projects. One such mega project that is expected to commence this year is the Gas to Energy project. One aspect of the project, that is the laying of the pipeline to transport the gas from the Liza field in the Stabroek Block to the Wales development site, is expected to cost some $1.3 billion US. Another aspect of the project to be pursued by the government will see the natural gas liquids plant being constructed to treat and separate the gas, which will then be used to generate some 300 megawatts of electricity. And moving on, notwithstanding millions being invested into the Ministry of Health every year, the Public Accounts Committee was on Monday informed that the ministry has been storing documentation on spending in cardboard boxes, which have caused difficulties in locating documents for spending that occurred in 2017 and 2018. The Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation on Monday came under scrutiny by the committee, where several questions were posed to Malcolm Watkins, the permanent secretary for the ministry, and key officials of the Georgetown Public Hospital. They were asked questions pertaining to the procurement of drugs for the hospital, among other issues. The officials were questioned on the contracts that were awarded to 6 suppliers who received payments totaling over $603 million, but did not fully honor their obligations, since millions in supplies were outstanding. In response, the permanent secretary stated that approximately $600 million was reconciled of the stated sum. And moving on, the lawyer representing convicted rapist 38-year-old Thurston Semple, a taxi driver of Tuckville Terrace, Georgetown, has requested that a psychiatric evaluation be conducted on his client rather than a psychological evaluation. With the request of Attorney at Law Everton Singh Lamy, Justice Priya Sunarayan Bihari in the Demerara High Court deferred the sentencing to June 28 and ordered that a psychiatric evaluation be conducted. Semple had denied the charge that between February 24th and February 25, 2021 at Tuckville, Georgetown, he engaged in sexual penetration with a 30-year-old Venezuelan woman without her consent. He had also denied that on the same day and at the same location he caused the said woman actual bodily harm. It should be noted that a psychiatric assessment is more specific, as it focuses on mental illnesses such as depression, anxiety, and psychotic disorders. On the other hand, a psychological evaluation looks at attitude, emotions, thoughts, and behavior. And to wrap things up, the Education Ministry is set to embark on a series of interventions as a method of curbing the incidence of violence among secondary school students. In separate incidents last week, the police were called in because teachers and students of the Campbellville Secondary School in Georgetown were traumatized after a fight between students broke out, and later a gang-related incident disrupted the entire school. In another incident, the police were called into the Lodge Secondary School and an air gun was found in a student's bag. Chief Education Officer Dr. Marcel Hodson said on Tuesday that the Ministry of Education is taking a holistic approach to the issue and rolling out an action plan which will see the security and psychosocial needs of students addressed. And at this time, we close things off with the page 7 of today's Kaieteur News. Death to mediocrity. Knowledge is knowing what to say, and wisdom is knowing when to say it. When a land is overflowing with bounty and the citizens are only afforded minuscule cash grants when compared to what the plunderers are raking in, it is indeed time that citizens activate the use of knowledge and wisdom and take decisive action. Guyanese, it is time to speak up so that those elected to serve know that we mean business and will no longer settle for mediocre leadership. We, with the guidance of the Creator, will continue to agitate the people of this nation to stand up for a bigger piece of their pie. And that brings us to the end of today's News at Noon. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening. Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
Diana,